Hi there, it's Lori, and it's about circles again today. And I'm also going to be talking about the wonderful Junk Journal July that's ahead. I'm going to be joining in with the Vintage Button and with Bee Happy Stationery to do Junk Journal July. There's an entire set of prompts. There's a lot of things available. And you're very welcome to join in with whatever you choose to do. Sandra at Bee Happy Stationery has some digitals available, including this set of, I'll link below in the description. But there are 31 prompts, and there's a grouping of people that will be making videos. I would like to make videos too. I'm going to be focusing on teacups. So part of this video is about preparing for July. Yes, we're still in June. And part of it is talking about Junk Journal July. I have circles here, as you can see. And I've been researching a little bit more about what else I can do with circles. And here's some inspiration I took from Pinterest, just different options I found pictures of. Amy at Crafty Cat USA, she will often take an inspiration from Pinterest and then remake it on her own. And so I thought, I can do that. I can, about circles. So I'm going to be making a double accordion book journal. This is the cover, the front cover I'll be using, and it's huge. It's very large. But I only have the front cover. So I need to find a book board of some sort that will equal the same size as this. But the idea will be that I'm going to be using this as an accordion. And I have this huge paper I'll show you at the end. I got it from our local scrap exchange, where they have, anything you can imagine to do crafts with. And so I've had it all now almost a year, and I have to use it. So it's a great big grouping of pages that are bigger than what my video has room for. And I'm cutting them down, and it'll be an accordion for both sides. So here we are. We have inspiration from Pinterest on what to do with circles. And I started a little bit there, and then I thought, okay, this is fine for me to do what I'm doing, but we could also be making belly bands, because this is going to be a band when I attach the next set of papers. But I could also do it on a free piece of paper, and anybody could. So as you can see, I have circles with some stickers here. I took a $10 course on how to make stickers with my Cricut, and so that's what these are from. I'll link below to the website where that was initially introduced to me. Her name is Mim Jenkinson, and she has a lot of options available, but for me, I chose this 4-day course with making stickers, because I wanted to know how to create what's called kiss cut stickers. That's where you just cut through the top part of the, not the whole thing. Like this one was a die cut. Die cut? Is that what you call it when the Cricut is cutting through both layers? But I wanted to know how to do this, and so I achieved it. I learned how to do that, and then I wanted to learn how to make my own stickers. And the Junk Journal July that I'm going to focus on is going to be about teacups, tea parties. everybody can choose whatever they're going to focus on. I'm going to focus on florals and teacups. So I created some stickers from Canva, the images, and learned how to make the kiss cut style. And then this is from the Cricut. And how I'm going to use them are on, surprise, circles. But that's for later on. For right now, we're going to talk about using circles on the edge of papers for a belly band or for joining papers together, or whatever we choose to do. And we're going to use these photos from Pinterest as some kind of inspiration. Because I found this interesting, you know, the idea of stacking them. So we're going to try and do that. Boy, I hope that I am in frame. I'm going to go get my blue mat and try and position it so that you can see what I'm doing. As I try to position this blue mat, what I'm doing is I'm trying to get this in the center of our working space so that you can see what I'm doing and I can work at it and not feel as though it's a failure afterward because you can't see what I'm doing. So this is it. Okay. And I'm going to try and recreate this as a belly band here with these off the edges. And this is a punch. All of these that I've done are just punched out of, this happens to be paper from a scrapbook page. And later on, I have these. These are from encyclopedia pages that I have glued together because they're really old. They're from the late 1800s, early 1900s. I think it's 1880, no, 1899. Yes, get the idea. But they need to be adhered to something else. Just looking at the pages on their own, they break. All right, let's put this down in a row, these here, and then we'll move on to the next set. I've been making things from circles for the last little while. You might have seen a video. What did I make? I made a pocket. This was originally a very large circle that I folded and made into a pocket to hold tags because we're working on documenting all the special wins in our life, as many wins as possible. I'm overlapping this in a somewhat coherent grouping, and I'm using Fabri-Tac because it gives me a little bit of wiggle room in case I do something incorrectly and want to change it, like this here. I want to hide the dotted part. Okay, there we go. Are they even? Not quite, but they are circular-ish. They're like flowers. From the other side, it'll look like a scallop. Okay, let's add, I could just leave it there. And last week, Tuesday, I think, I did an edge page with some decorative paper as a design team thing. So more must be better. If ever you watch the television show Big Bang Theory, there's a instance where one of the characters' mother, she uses that phrase. So my husband and I, we joke about that. If some is good, more must be better. Have you worked with stickers? Sorry, wrong term. Have you worked with circles very much? I haven't before this point. I'm really sorry about the sound. It is a day where people have decided they are going to cut their lawns. And so I have to record today because I'm not available tomorrow to record. So on Tuesday, I always try to have a video on Tuesdays and Fridays. So it was record now with the person mowing the lawn, or not record at all. I hope it's okay. All right, so there are 2 sets of circles there. Now I could go smaller. I have some with, this is a 1-inch hole punch. And of course, I didn't bring it back into the room. I happened to be doing these when I was sitting in front of the television. And I left the punch there. But it's just a circular punch, a circle punch, you know, like similar to this. This one is bigger, I think. Yes. Regardless. Okay, let's put some of these stickers on here because we can. And because I worked hard at it to make it. So imagine making belly bands just out of circles. I think it's helpful if there's a substrate underneath to hold it securely. Okay, I'm going to need one more, or no. Maybe just spread them out a little bit more. And that's why I've used this paper. We're going to move on and make some more items out of circles. Once these stickers down. And because they're sticker paper, they do not need adhesive. But they may be a problem getting off the backing. That's why you know what we're going to do is use the ones that are Kiss Cut. Funny name, isn't it? So, where are those? Here they are. What I did was I chose the one. See, you just sort of bend the backing. That's why this kind of thing is better. Now, this course that I took, it was only for 4 days, and only for 4 days. The originator, the person that teaches the course, she limited the amount of time that the videos were available for people to watch. And on one hand, it was a little frustrating. I just imagine for those that needed that something unexpected came up and they couldn't participate. So the videos are available, I think, for a week and a half afterward. So use it or lose it kind of thing, which is fine if you've planned for it and your personal life doesn't cause you issues with the experience. But I knew that I would have those days available, and so then using the weekend to practice with my Cricut and with the videos was very advantageous for me. There we go. All right. Now, that can be a belly band. I could keep going with more layers of circles, but isn't that pretty? I could fold this over like this. And what do you think of that? Lots of options, lots of ideas. And what a joy to be able to use what we have, huh? Now, I'm going to find another one of these, and we're going to use this here, these circles, and I'm going to try and recreate this pattern, this fish scale or overlapping, and we'll see how, I haven't tried it yet, we'll see how successful I am. I'm going to run a line of glue, and this should stay wet enough for me to work. I'm going to start in the middle, and it looks like you match them up. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to match the amount off and where I'm stopping. Some of these have music pages, and that's okay too. Yeah. I'll show you a little bit more of what I've done with these encyclopedias when I'm done this row, so you can get a sense of, if you have paper that's very fragile, the options for it. I had made these into journaling cards, and I then just punched out the circles from the journaling cards. And I could make more if I chose to. Oh, look, this one has a little bit missing. That's okay. There we are. All right. Are they abutting? Sort of. It may or may not work. We'll find out. What was I going to show you? Oh, yes. So I have a package of these encyclopedia pages, and what I did was I just folded them over and over and glued between. Some of them I did embossing, some of them I painted on, some of them, yeah, that was embossed too, but they become less and less stable. Yeah, they break more quickly. So some of them have a index card, nope, flash card. I wrapped the paper around. I have a video on my channel with some of this. I did it 2 years ago, maybe? Yeah, 2 years ago around Easter. And I also made items with paper napkins. So this here is an envelope. It's the same material, but the envelope creates a stability for that paper. Here's more. Now, Lindsey at Vintage Button, she showed some of her items where she had put napkin over top and then she cut them out like a fussy cut. So I may do that for some of these. But they've been, for the last 2 years, they've been sitting in this folder, and I knew that I wanted to use them. And Junk Journal July is a great time to use them. So this is a blue napkin that I attached to the encyclopedia paper and then embossed. Lots of options. But teacups are what I want to be focusing on, and florals. All right, now let's do a next line. And it looks like what I need to do is sort of go over top. I'll start in the middle. It seems to me that I'll have less problem if I start in the middle. Okay, and we'll run a bead of Fabri-Tac over top and set down in the middle. I can see already that I'm going to run into some issues because they're not abutting. Oh well, we'll find out how we solve that shortly. Or maybe they will if I just push them closer. Okay. Would you do something differently? Have you done this before? Maybe if I had used ink over top of them, that would have been more effective. I don't know. like inking the edges kind of thing. There. All right. I'm getting glue on my fingers, so I'm pulling things up because of that. All right. Maybe just one on the edge still, because I'll trim the edges once everything's dried. Maybe a third layer. What do you think of that? Third layer. Sticky, sticky. All right, let's try a third layer and see what happens. And then we're going to make another craft, not another belly band. Or pattern, but something completely different. I've got strings from the Fabri-Tac. Okay. I may need more. How are you doing? I welcome you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. I really love it when you leave a comment. Ooh, I think I need to add an extra one here. This is just, it might have peeled off. They do that too. They peel apart. The glue is sometimes less than permanent. Would you have used a different glue, do you think? Circles are amazing. In architecture, I think I've read that the shape of a circle, like an arch concept, is one of the strongest shapes to hold weight. That's why some of the bridges from Roman times in the UK still are being used because of the shape that they were created with. And I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Sometimes my brain tells me something that I think is correct, but isn't. So here in the US, we don't have very many like old stone arch bridges. When we were traveling with our RV, we were in Nashville, not Nashville, the place where the music is, but it was Nashville, Illinois, with our RV. And yeah, there was one of those stone arch bridges, but it was too low for trucks to go under, so everyone kept hitting it. And just recently, my husband said it collapsed. Someone hit it too hard, and it collapsed. But to be fair, there was no indicator of how tall the bridge was. Okay, and it was a stone arch bridge. All right, imagine this on the side. It's a little bit heavy. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. But that's kind of cool, isn't it? Now I have something that I made. I have this. This is a circle. Again, this is a masterboard with old papers. And I scraped some paint on. And now this is one of my teacups. And I'm going to attach it to that circle. And that'll be an embellishment in the double accordion book journal that I make for Junk Journal July. All right, so that's one kind of embellishment. Choose your focal point and then layer circles. Next, so we made some pockets a few other times. We made this pocket and this one. They're similar but different sizes of circles. We made this kind of pocket where full circle, half circle, half circle. That's me. I'm Lori at Positive Thanks Living. And now we're going to make 2 circles together or less, and it's going to be a tuck. And I'm trying to find the circles that I intended to use. Ah, they're there. So 2 kinds of tucks. Let's say that you need or you want to tuck something on a page. This can be just glued down and it'll exist there. And what you do, so this happens to be a circle that has some kind of, it's not a full circle, it's a shaped circle, but it doesn't have to be. You could use just a regular circle, like this one. Fold it in half. And if you want to, a little bit of ink. This is vintage photo, I think. Yeah. And then if you want to add some embellishment to it, find a circle that is slightly smaller, like this one. And fold that in half also. So simple, so easy. I think I'm going to do a little bit of inking. Here we go. Fold it in half. Glue it on. I'm going to try art glitter glue if this actually works. And if not, that's okay. We don't need to worry. It's working, hooray. Sometimes I need to use a pin to restart the glue. All right, there we are. And over here. And to make this stick, now you could put a small paper clip between these two, absolutely. I'm choosing not to at this moment in time. What I'm doing is I'm using glue as the way of keeping this folded down, so it has a distinct grabbing quality option. All right, so that is one kind of attachment. A full circle folded in half, and it can be used for a tag. Like if I was going to put, I wanted a tag to be a part of this, I just put it in there and it holds. It's not going to shake out. So that's how this one was made. And if I wanted to put a flower or a teacup, I don't think I have made enough small teacups at this point. So let's put a flower on this one. Yeah, this should work. See why a kiss cut works better than single cut? It's not as annoying to let go. Hopefully this has dried enough that it won't catch this for any length of time, but you get the idea. So you can, I would put maybe a little bit of bling in the middle, yeah, or not. Now, this is a second kind, similar concept. You can imagine. We have a circle, and then we find a second circle, like this, and we attach it to the top this time with a little bit of glue. Or a circle. Can a circle have a top? I don't know. There's the circle, and there's the second circle attached. You see how this similarly. Now let's put a smaller circle in the middle, like this, or maybe like this. I like this one. Differences of images And this is all very light, double-sided paper. I think it was Walmart. And if you want to hold something, oh, I didn't ink these. Oh, well, you get the idea. If I want to hold something, that's going nowhere. And you can attach it to a page and it becomes a tuck. That's what we're going to call them. They're tucks. There we go. All made from circles. Yes, circles. Punched, cut, available from old paper, from new paper, from stickers, and eventually it's going to go into the Junk Journal July double accordion book journal that I'm currently building. And you'll be seeing more of me making stickers, well, or at least the stickers that I've made. So an accordion journal is attached, the way I make it, I have 2 accordion journals, so double, and it's attached to the cover. And they open like this. This is huge. This is going to be fun filling up, isn't it? And then I'm going to use the circle pages that I make as a way of attaching the next page to it. Because if it's on a edge, let's say this is glued down, it's quite able to open like this. See? Oh, you'll understand a little better once I've got it put together. This is in my craft room for a while. Somebody had brought that to me. She works at the library, and when books come in and they're not in good shape and they're going to throw them in the landfill, she'll bring it to us in our crafting group. So I'm determined that this is going to be used. I think it was probably 1924, the book. The book didn't come to me, just the front cover. So 1824 to 1924, Fifth Avenue, old and new. New, 1924. 2024 now. Boy, that would be a big difference, wouldn't it? But this is the cover. And I probably won't do anything to this cover. I'll have to find a book board of some size, of a size that equals this, to make a back cover. So that I'll do something on. All right. We'll see you again. I'm Lori at Positive Thanks Living, and I make things from paper. And I look forward to seeing you again. The next videos are going to be on Friday, and I'm preparing for Junk Journal July. Yeah, I'll link below to where you can find out more about it. In the meantime, pull out your circle punches, do some circles, have some fun, lots of things. Bye for now. Happy crafting.